The Washer of the Ford. It was a fair wind that blew beneath the stars that night. At dawn the mountains of Skye were like turrets of a great dun against the east. But Torcall the Blind Harper did not see these things. Sleep, too, was upon him. He smiled in that sleep, for in his mind he saw the dead men that were the alien people his foes draw near the stream that was in a far place. The shaking of them, poor tremulous frost-bit leaves they were, thin and sere, made the only breath that there was in that desert. This is what Torcall saw in his vision. At the ford they fell down like stricken deer with the hounds upon them. "What is this stream?" they cried in the thin voice of rain across the moors. "The river of blood," said a voice. "And who are you that are in the silence?" "I am the washer of the ford." And with that each red soul was seized and thrown into the water of the ford. And when each soul was as white as a sheep bone on the hill, it was taken in one hand by the washer of the ford and flung into the air where no wind was and where sound was dead, and was then severed this way and that in 4 whirling blows of the sword from the 4 quarters of the world. Then it was that the washer of the ford trampled upon what fell to the ground, till under the feet of her was only a white sand, white as powder, light as the dust of the yellow flowers that grow in the grass. There is a lonely stream afar in a lone dim land. It hath white dust for a shore it has, white bones bestrew the strand. The only thing that liveth there is a naked leaping sword, but I who a seer am have seen the whirling hand of the washer of the ford. A shadowy shape of cloud and mist, of gloom and dusk she stands, the washer of the ford. She laughs at times and strews the dust through the hollow of her hands. She counts the sins of all men there and slays the red-stained horde. The ghosts of all the sins of men must know the whirling sword of the washer of the ford. She stoops and laughs when in the dust she sees a writhing limb. "Go back into the ford," she says, "and hither and thither swim. Then I shall wash you white as snow, and shall take you by the hand, and slay you here in the silence with this my whirling brand, and trample you into the dust of this white windless sand." This is the laughing word of the washer of the ford along that silent strand. And when we hear the laughter of the sword, oh, the corbies croak, and the old wail, and the women weep. And busy will she be there where she stands, washing the red out of the sins of all this slaying horde, and trampling the bones of them into a white powdery sands, and laughing low at the thirst of her thirsty sword, the washer of the ford. Deep silence there was. The moonshine lay upon the obscure wood, and the darkling river flowed sighing through the soundless gloom. The washer of the ford stooped once more, low and sweet as of yore and forever. Over the drowning souls she sang her immemorial song.